when I was still a student, 40 years ago, I used to go to Rosebank Union in its original venue. It was an exciting place for young people to be. And so to be now one of their missionaries, partnering with them, is absolutely wonderful. And it's been a long partnership. It was about almost 30 years ago I left for Uzbekistan, 30 years ago. I mean, I'm a strong believer that God really does place on people's hearts a very clear call, but it's not a one moment thing. And so I found myself over the years in high school interested in nations of the world where Jesus was not known. I read biographies of missionaries. And then I think the key moment, there was this kind of one really big significant moment. I went to a missions conference in Wellington in the Western Cape. And they then said, right, if you are going to make a difference and go, we want you to stand up right now and come to the front. And I got up and found myself floating towards the front, knelt down, and that was it. That was the start of then an absolute decision to work towards going. If you're convinced that God has said go, you then lay everything down, you die to yourself and you go. And so it doesn't matter what actually comes. It's all part of that absolute commitment, surrender, and commitment to being with people. We came back to South Africa for the kids to go through high school. You know, we really felt it very important. In that kind of Central Asian context, it was very difficult for the kids, especially when they hit the teenage years, to find a place that was really, they felt at home in. So we felt like we're going to do a season back at home, came back home. And I've always had this dual love of both the Muslim world, but Africa. I've always loved Africa. And so being back here, I was then invited to consider taking over from the founder of Africa for Christ, who in fact was one of the pastors at Rosebank Union for many, many years, Terry Ray. And so Terry approached me and I, and so I took over from him actually as he retired. So Africa for Christ is really two parts. We've got a South Africa focus where we've got 40 church planters in 7 different provinces of South Africa. So we broadly spread 40 church planters, and we're in disadvantaged shack communities. That's where we try and go. And then besides those 40, we've got another 40 to 50 that are up into Africa, into that Muslim band and other parts of Africa. We're also in Ghana and Zambia and Malawi and Zim as well. This year, we're very excited. We are going to have our first ever Africa conference, and we're planning that for Johannesburg, where we're going to bring all these partners from all these different countries. We're bringing the partners down to a conference in Johannesburg where we're going to get them together, train them, mentor them, but also get them to interact and peer coach. And then just get them encouraged and excited to go again. For me, just really wisdom and guidance as I'm mentoring and leading a number of church planters and leaders. So also a prayer that, we're doing this transformation stuff in hard places, but we're not getting much partnership from local churches. And so we'd love to see more of that. It's a small amount they would need to partner, and their partnership means that one place in South Africa that's really disadvantaged is getting the light of Jesus in that place.